You ever notice how confident people get when they think the system is on their side? Not right, not legal, just protected? Because for years, that's exactly what they were told.
You have papers in the United States?
Have my ID, driver's license.
Okay, but you have any type of paperwork identifying yourself in the United States?
That's what I have.
Right. So, ¿de dónde eres, señor?
I'm from Guatemala.
You're from Guatemala?
Yes.
¿Tiene papeles to be in Estados Unidos, sí or no?
Yes, that's what I have.
What type of papeles, señor?
I have my driver's license and my ID.
Sí, legal.
That's what I have.
Come on, señor. Vamos, let's go. Step up. No, step up.
Come on.
No, señor. Vamos. Vamos. Vamos, step up. No,
can
vamos.
I pull out?
No, vamos, señor. Get out. Vamos, señor. Sí, legal, sí.
What about my wallet?
Now they have this man under arrest. How long have you been in the United States for? ¿Cuánto tiempo lleva aquí en los Estados Unidos?
About...
Hello. We got one arrest. Y'all following the van?
I read it to not speak.
¿Qué está pensando en este momento?
My glasses. About my glasses.
That's what worries you most?
Yes. Because I wear contact glasses.
Are you worried about being deported now?
I have right to remain silent.
You do have the right to remain silent.
You're here illegally right now, ¿verdad?
I have a driver's license.
No,
ID.
Right, but the driver's license doesn't give you any status here in the United States.
So he did have a driver's license, however, that does not give you legal status here inside the United States. So why did you detain him, and why did you make the arrest on him? Because you were asking for his papers. He said I had my ID, driver license. What does that mean?
So he became targeted. We was doing research in regards to our databases, targeted information. So we had ran across Abraham. He was driving a vehicle. So we did our checks. In regard to our checks, we found out that he was legal in the country. We run our databases. He has certain benefits going on, but that didn't preclude him from removal.
Even if you do have a driver license, that does not make you legal here?
No, not at all. So my approach, I approached the driver door. I wanted to see if he was going to admit to him being illegally here in the country. So I asked him if he had any type of paperwork in the country. He provided me a state license, and that state license does not allow him to have a legal status inside the United States.
And just like that, this right here is the perfect snapshot of modern America. Not confusion, not a language barrier, confidence. He didn't ask if it worked. He expected it to. He expected that thing to work, because in sanctuary states, a driver's license has been treated like a hall pass, like a magic shield, if you will, right? But ICE isn't the DMV. And federal law doesn't run on vibes. And that's when reality steps in. And when reality steps in, things don't stay calm for long.
ICE agents involved in a shooting. Local authorities say it happened this morning when the agents were conducting a detail. They say the agents approached a van when the driver tried to run them over. ICE agents fired. Then someone in the van was hit. That person is said to be in stable condition. Another person outside the van was treated for minor injuries. We will have more details as soon as we get them in. ICE agents involved in a...
Now, this is what the media never wants to connect. They talk about paperwork. They'll talk about humanitarian language. They don't talk about the danger. ICE agents don't wake up looking for shootouts. I'm sure they don't. They wake up trying to enforce laws Congress already passed. And that's how paperwork turns into gunfire. Now, here's the wild part. Even when enforcement works, they still won't admit it.
This is Texas. The president has a lot of supporters in Texas. And one of the key issues in Texas is, of course, immigration. You, of course, have been an outspoken critic of the president's mass deportation policies and of ICE. But a lot of voters, a lot of Americans who voted for President Trump think that he has done a strong job at the border. In fact, border encounter numbers are down. And The president is touting that as a success. You obviously have issues with the way he's going about it, but has the president been successful? Can you acknowledge that on bringing border encounters down?
I will acknowledge that what is being reported is that border encounters are lower. I will also say that we know that this administration has not been the most honest when it comes to reporting numbers, as we know that there's now reporting that they've not been honest about the jobs numbers. What I can tell you is that he has invoked a very inhumane way of carrying out immigration. What I also can tell you is that he has not worked through the Congress, and that's what we need, is comprehensive immigration reform. What I also can tell you is that we have a historic number of people that have died in ICE custody since he's been in. What I also can tell you is that we have a historic number of American citizens that have been rounded up. And what I can also tell you is that this Supreme Court, unfortunately, has basically given him carte blanche to go after people because of an accent or because of what they look like, and that is wrong.
Now, the administration will come back and say that it is the Biden administration who is inhumane by allowing chaos, in their words, to go forward at the border, that it was a chaotic policy, and that there was a lot of sex trafficking going on by a lot of the migrants that were coming to the U.S. The Trump White House says they've cut down on that. Your response?
They may say that, but ultimately what I know is that we can't, so let me say it this way. I can't say that the border has ever been perfect, and I can't say that I believe that the border is perfect right now. So let me acknowledge that. What I do believe, again, though, is that we need to focus on comprehensive immigration reform, and that means that Congress has to get involved, because what I can tell you is that we had already been behind on asylum cases. We know that our judges had already been overloaded, and that was prior to COVID. We're talking about a backlog of 7 years. That was not making it safe for us, because we were not ascertaining whether or not certain people should be in this country.
When she talk is like, I can't check out, but like I want to. It's like my body's natural response is to go. But I want you to listen carefully to what she didn't say. She didn't say the numbers were wrong. She didn't say encounters were up. She said, I don't trust it. That's not leadership. That's copying. Because, I mean, admitting success would mean admitting something even worse. Trump was right. And they were wrong. So when denial doesn't work, the next move is the smear.
Veering into his lane and cutting him off.
There's no signal, no anything. And I just thought like regular LA drivers.
But then the SUV suddenly stops in a busy lane of traffic, and the back door flies open. The impact sends Edgardo's side mirror flying through his window.
What's that, bro? What the fuck?
No one in the SUV appears to acknowledge the collision. Two men in ballistic vests scramble out to the drying area.
United States Border Patrol. Huh? United States Border Patrol. Yes. Are you a United States citizen? I'm a United States citizen.
Other agents who hang back to dislodge their car door ignore Edgardo.
I see that this is like a suspected ICE raid. Like I'm still not going to leave without insurance, because that could be like still a hit and run on me. And then I also have my car messed up.
For nearly 2 minutes, Edgardo, who seems free to leave, snaps photos and pleads for insurance. But then, after taking down a passerby who flees into traffic, agents abruptly turn their sights on Edgardo.
I'm just confused. What's going on?
Or customers are detained. Bovino's turn and burn playbook appears to be backfiring. Once agents move Edgardo into their vehicle, it appears they're planning to leave. But apparently, there's uncertainty about what to do with him, according to audio from his dash camera.
We'll get on the rally.
Instead of getting on the road, agents sit in this Tahoe with Edgardo in front of the car wash for nearly an hour.
Show your face.
I got family.
We got family too. We're out here.
It's not clear what they're waiting for,
Show your face.
but Edgardo says agents are making calls requesting help from local law enforcement. As the crowd grows and tensions rise.
They're saying that this would have never happened if like I would have just like been on my way, but I was being on my way. I was just trying to go to work.
Yo, what's your name? Brother, what's your name?
Notice Notice how the story is told, right? That's what I want to point out. Just notice how the story was told, not what happened, but how you're supposed to feel. A U.S. citizen gets caught in chaos. That's tragic. But blaming ICE while ignoring why these operations exist is like blaming firefighters for smoke. This is what happens when enforcement disappears for years and then suddenly returns. The chaos isn't new, but the accountability is. And if you're wondering how we got here in the first place, here's the receipt.
Unfortunately, my colleagues must not have read the memo, because that's not what they've talked about. They want to talk about ICE and immigration. So let's talk about that. You know, in 1965, we passed the Hart-Celler Act. Since that time, we've seen chain migration on a scale that, quite frankly, I'm not sure even the progressive liberal authors of that bill could have possibly imagined. In that amount of time, we've seen 60 million migrants come into this country, most of which, 90%, from third world countries. There are roughly 300,000 Afghans in America, 200,000 of which came under Biden. Approximately 45% of Afghans are on U.S. food stamps. Afghans under the Biden administration have an unemployment rate double that of Americans. 68% of Afghans are on Medicaid. Let's go overseas. And so if that sounds like political rhetoric, let's look at the facts. Paris, 48% of crimes committed by foreigners, most of which were Muslim. Overall crime has surged since the Islamic migrant influx. That is from the French Interior Ministry. London, 40% of sex crimes are committed by foreigners, most of which are Muslims. That's the Metropolitan Police Department. Rome, 83% of 2024 street robberies by non-EU citizens, almost all of which were Muslim. Sexual assaults, 69% Muslim, Italian police reports. Minneapolis, here in the homeland. Violent crime in Cedar Riverside, a Somali hub, rose 56%. 2010 to 2018. Dearborn, Michigan, crime 105% above the national average. Hamtramck, outside of Detroit, 92% of assaults by Muslim immigrants. Drug arrests, 85% Muslim immigrants. Now let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, where a Somali man, a migrant who came in 2015, raped to death a woman on the steps of a church. I've had enough. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Deport them all. This is our country. We get to decide who comes in, and we get to decide who has to leave.
This is the part nobody really wants to talk about. Decisions made decades ago. Policies passed with good intentions, but without, with zero guardrails. And you can argue compassion, you can argue economics, but you can't argue math. When systems get overwhelmed, laws stop working. And trust collapses. And when trust collapses, people get hurt. Which brings us to the cost. The real one.
New details just in about a University City murder that's left many residents on edge since Tuesday. According to an arrest warrant, there is a second victim who survived. Police arrested Saul Perez early this morning. According to the newly released court documents, Perez beat two men with a metal pipe, killing one of them. Marvin Alonzo died as a result. That's according to these new documents. Police say the murder happened at Chancellor Park Apartments in Northeast Charlotte, just minutes away from UNC Charlotte. Perez had his bond denied today. He's expected back in court Friday. New details just in.
This isn't about politics anymore. 1 second. Excuse me. Ooh. Excuse me. But again, this isn't about politics anymore. This is about people who didn't get a second chance. And here's the most uncomfortable truth of it all. You don't need every illegal immigrant to be dangerous for the policy to be dangerous. You just need one that shouldn't have been here. Now, for the part that they hoped you never see.
Sign this in honor of Lake and Riley. Come on up here, some of the people that we love that have been so instrumental. Okay? Okay. Sign this in honor of Lake and Riley.
Excuse me, y'all. The allergies are going crazy.
Come on up here.
But this is what, I'm sorry, enforcement looks like, right? Quiet, methodical, effective. No slogans, no speeches, just fewer victims and fewer excuses. They try denial, they try spin, they try guilt, but reality, it doesn't care. I'm sorry. A driver's license isn't citizenship. Denial isn't leadership, all right? And chaos definitely isn't compassion. The system only works when the law actually means something. It does. That's why if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write reality check. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas. It's Christmas. I said that like I was a baby. My baby's just they're walking in right now. We're about to go ahead and get this thing started, y'all. Other than that, be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.